Good morning, kids. Welcome to our 40 Days and 40 Nights Lenten Children's Time. If you remember, Lent is the journey toward the cross. And how long did Lent last? That's right, 40 days and 40 nights. And so to help us prepare for Easter and to really explain the Lenten story, we're looking back at some Bible stories about 40 days and 40 nights that have been important in the Bible. So we've talked about the 40 days and 40 nights that God sent a flood and Noah was on the ark. We talked about the 40 days and 40 nights that Moses was on the mountaintop and got commandments from God. Today I want to talk about a different story. And to get there, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever taken a really long road trip? When I was a kid, I thought it was a long trip to get to my grandparents' house. It was 4 hours in the car to get there. And then my parents decided that we were going to take a trip all the way to Yellowstone National Park. It was 4 of us in the car. My dad, my mom, my brother, who's 4 years older than me, and myself. And let me tell you, that was a long trip. We did make stops along the way to fun places like Mount Rushmore, but it was a long trip. Can you guess what some of the questions my brother and I were asking? We asked questions like, when's the next bathroom stop? When are we gonna eat? And the all-time favorite, are we there yet? Well, that story came to mind when I was thinking about today's story. When the Israelites were freed from slavery in Egypt, God had promised them a land flowing with milk and honey, a new home for them, but they had to take a journey to get there. And on that journey, they asked some of the same type of questions that my brother and I asked. We're hungry. When are we gonna eat? They asked that question over and over again. They were upset because they were eating better in Egypt than they were on this trip. And then God sent them manna, food for them to eat. And okay, manna was good, but it kept going. And the next thing was, none of the water's any good. I'm thirsty. I want something to drink. And so Moses split a rock that God told him to split, and suddenly there was fresh water for them to drink. And this journey went on. And everybody, guess how long it lasted? If you guessed 40 days and 40 nights, you have the right number. But it was longer than that. It was 40 years that this trip lasted. But finally, they got to the land that God had promised. God has kept his promise. So our 40-year story is a reminder to us that even though it sometimes takes a long time, and sometimes we need to have patience, God does keep his promises. In the link to the PDF for this service, there are also activity sheets that go along with this children's time. And next week, I will be back bringing you another 40-day and 40-night story. Thank you.